Blueprint system in Unreal Engine is a complete gameplay scripting system. It's based on the concept of using a node-based interface to create gameplay elements from within Unreal Engine. This system is extremely flexible and powerful. It provides the ability for designers to use virtually the full range of concepts and tools generally only available to programmers. In this course, I will touch on only a small part of all Blueprint's features, but it will allow you to give your project a finished look for final delivery to the client. To begin with, let's make the door open when the user approaches them. The principle of operation will be carried out with the help of a trigger volume called a collision. When the user crosses the collision, doors will automatically open. To create an object with which you can interact, you need to create a Blueprint class actor. Go to the content browser and create a new folder named Blueprint. Right-click, select Blueprint class. This is a menu of options for parent Blueprint objects. Each of the objects in this list can carry a script you've created in the form of node graphs. To create opening doors, I will use the Actor class. Using this class, you can create interactive objects in the scene. Choose Actor. Give a name with a BP prefix. Go to Editing with a double click. The Components tab contains the elements that are part of the actor. An actor can have an unlimited number of geometry elements. This is the Actor preview window. On the left are tabs that contain components related to the blueprint, functions and variables. To the right of the viewport is a tab responsible for working with Blueprint. Let's move on to creating doors. On the Components tab, click Add, select Sphere from the list. This is the base parent component that will contain the door. When I rotate the parent sphere component, the door will also rotate. Choose Sphere. Next, add the static mesh on the Components panel. A new component static mesh is added as child component from the parent sphere. Give a name for static mesh. Set a name for parent component. This will be the first right door. Select static mesh and in the details panel on the right, find static mesh. Here in the list you need to find the door asset that you have in the scene. I have this front door section. The door is added to the actor. Position it so that the corner of the door is exactly in the center of the sphere, since the rotation of the door will be relative to the center of the sphere. Now select the default scene route and create another sphere component. This will be the left door. Just like in the first case, add a static mesh component and add door asset. Move the door 2 components to the right. Now select the door mesh and turn it in opposite direction. Do this only with the door mesh. Don't change the rotation angle of the sphere component. This will cause difficulties at the blueprint stage. Correct the position of the door too. Now I need to turn off the visibility of the spheres so that they are not visible in the scene. Select the sphere component and in the details panel turn off visible. Click Compile to apply the changes. Delete the doors in the scene and place the created actor. Carefully place the new door in the opening. Get back to editing. Now I will create a collision that will be the trigger to activate the opening of the doors. Select default scene route and add box collision component. Scale it and position it so that it extends beyond of the front and back of the doors. Now that everything is ready, I need to create an event that will be activated when the user crosses the collision and leaves it. Select collision. On the right side of the events panel, find on component begin overlap. Click on plus. The event has been added to the event graph. The event graph is a working area in which the work with the blueprint takes place. On the top are the default events, you can delete them. On the right side of the components, select the box collision and add another on component and overlap event. These two events will trigger an action when the user enters and leaves the collision boundary. Now I need to create a script that will be executed when the one of the created events starts. From the list of components, drag door 1 parent component to the working area. On the right side of the door 1 node, drag out a new node and search for set relative rotation. Plug in set relative rotation in on component begin overlap. Set the coordinate rotation value to 85 degrees. Every time you make changes to the blueprint, you need to click compile to apply the changes. Let's check what happened. Start the game. Now when I go to the door, it opens. Set up the second door. Go back to the editor. Before that, I want the door to open in the opposite direction. Change the rotation angle to negative. Drag the second door and repeat the same logic for it. Doors open in different directions. You need to set a positive value at the second door. Apply the changes. Start the game. Now the doors open in one direction. Return to the editor. I want the doors to open smoothly, and when I move away from them, they should close. Right-click in the free field. Find and add timeline node. Plug on component begin overlap into the play slot. Update plugin set relative rotation. Double-click to go to the timeline editor. Here I need to create a curve for changing the value with respect to time. Create a new track. Add float track. Give a name. Length is the duration in seconds. Set the door opening duration to 1 second. Now with the right mouse button create 2 points on the graph. This is the start and end point of the door opening. At the first point set 0 for the time and value. At the second point, set the time to 1 and the value -85, this is the angle of rotation. This graph means that in 1 second the value of the angle of rotation will change from 0 to -85. Select both points, right-click and select Auto to make the value change smooth. Go back to the event graph. Now the generated value has appeared in the timeline node. Right-click on New Rotation and select Split Struct Pin. Now I can connect the resulting timeline value to a z-coordinate rotation. Compile and let's check how it works. The right door moves smoothly. Now for the second door, create the same timeline but with a positive value, so that the doors open in one direction. Now both doors open smoothly. I want the doors to close smoothly when the user leaves the collision. On component and overlap, plug into the reverse slot. But it will not work to connect the second timeline. In this case, I need to add a sequence function that splits the logic execution flow into several. Connect timelines reverse slots via sequence. Double-click on the connection line to add a node, then align it. This will help you organize a comfortable space for work. Let's check how it works. Start the game. The script doesn't work for the second door. Let's fix it. Add another sequence function. Now I will split the onComponent begin overlap script into two separate flows, so that each door has its own flow. Use Alt with right mouse click to break the link. Distribute the flows in this way. Apply the changes. Now everything works smoothly. When the character leaves the collision, the doors return to their original position. Increase the size of the collision so that the doors start opening early. You can do this by selecting the collision component inside the door actor. Let's move on to the animation of the doors in the rooms. Here the execution logic is exactly the same, only a little simpler because here is only one door. Create a new blueprint class actor. Add a parent component. Then add static mesh of the room door. This door has a pivot offset. Better if I fix it. Find the door asset in the scene. Activate modeling mode. Set up pivot. Pivot is correct. Go back to the actor and turn off the visibility of the parent component. Now select the file scene root component and create a box collision to start events. Choose a collision and add events. Then create a timeline node. Get the parent door component. Set rotation function. Just like in the first case, adjust the curve in the timeline. Place the door actor in the scene. I need to apply materials to the door asset. Go to the object editor and apply materials. Start the game. I need to change the side of door opening. Set the rotation angle to a negative value. Now everything works. But as you can see, I cannot get through the door, so that the collision creates a hindrance. This is the collision that the parent component has. The Disable Visibility option does not disable object collision in the actor. Go back to the actor setup. Select the sphere component. Find the collision preset parameter and change it to no collision. Also disable parent component collision on the front door. Place the created actor in the all openings. Now check how everything works.